Warriors. I want to talk a little bit about psychology and what I did today. And, right or wrong, it's what I had to learn to do because I had a tendency that if I didn't get short near the top of a move or long from the bottom of the move and felt like I missed it, that I would just sit back and wait for better entries. But sometimes you don't get your entry. For example, today I was flat currencies. I've been looking for 96.20 in the Dixie, and we got down to close to 61.8 at 96 and a half. So the NFP came out, it was strong, and the dollar popped, and euro sold off. I had resting orders in cable to sell it at 37.30. I wasn't up last night, or I would have probably done something when it was trading up here at 712. All right, so here's a trader's dilemma. You're unable at a great price where you were looking to sell it, and now the market's going without you. What's your next step? Your next step is to think about what the potential is on the trade. For example, in Canada, where I bought a pullback at 68, just a little pullback. And, in some in some way, it's better. I have, down here, it's a theory, right? Now we've had some action, and I have a place to put my stop in. So I just bought a little pullback at 35.68. And the reason is if this is a, higher low, just like the dollar, and this is the beginning of a move after a retest, if it holds 35, I'm looking for over these highs before the dollar rally is over. So really, does it make a difference if I didn't buy the bottom and maybe my risk on the trade may have been the same down here, and then I would have moved the stop up and taken partials. But if I'm looking for a move like that, what's the difference? You finesse an entry. I don't think it was halfway back. Here's a 30. So, we had just this little pullback. But I need to be long. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and watch this. I'd rather be stopped out under 35. Okay. This is the way you have to trade. I'd rather be proven wrong than watch this market go to my objectives in a month without me. Okay. So today was a critical day for me to act right or wrong. And that meant on the day, not getting the best price. But over time, it'll look like a great price. Everyone with me on that? And have you experienced going through that mental gymnastics in your head when you don't catch the turn and you go, oh well, I missed it, I'm late. That what you should be saying is the turn is happening without me. How do I finesse an entry? And you have big candles. You could look for some type of retrace on that big candle. Anyway, I'm long Canada and I'm short the euro. Okay, the euro actually, I thought we were going to be able to get up to 61.8. It couldn't even get up to 61.8. Whereas cable, I believe that's where I was trying to sell it. Neither of them could get up to 61.8. Well, the dollar did, and that's because of yen weakness. Okay. Um, so, I'm in. Why did I choose euro over cable? Simple. Euro, excuse me. Euro's weaker than cable. So why not stick with the weakness and sell a rally in euro rather than cable? So that's the trade. That's what I'm doing right now. We'll see if it was successful, or will I say to myself, why didn't you wait, Dale? Okay, you know, but I feel better that I'm long than looking long the dollar through these trades than being flat. So that's a lesson. You don't have to sell the top or buy the bottom to, and then if you miss it, you don't get, you're not perfect, that you just let go of a trade and don't find an entry to participate. That's the lesson of the day. Okay. Yen, that was the forecast of the month. I said sell it at on Maggie's show at 78.6. That's what happened. And you know what? Maybe it's because I learned a lesson from this. Because when I came in, when I looked at it Sunday afternoon before the Super Bowl, I said, well, um, I lost my discipline. I said to myself, and think about what's going on in your head and the self-talk you're hearing. And the self-talk I heard was, the Super Bowl's here. I want to go watch a Super Bowl. I don't, you should be able to put on a position and walk away. That's again the old paradigm. I could do it. But on a Sunday night and then trading, I said, I'll just wait till tomorrow. Okay. And by tomorrow, it was chase. And even that was a chase. But, because of that, you're not always going to be in a peak performing state. You even see that with Olympians, right? I mean, here are peak performing athletes that still falter and can fall on the ice or crash on a downhill. So it's just part of the business. Okay. Risk is part of it. You can't drive a taxi without expecting to get a few tickets. All right. So I think that pretty much covers the dollar. So if I have this view on the dollar, I still don't think it's right to chase gold. If you like gold, I still think that you could get a break back down here towards 4,800 before we make a move up to 53. Gold silver ratio is, to me, looks like it still has another wave to the upside, which would imply underperformance by silver. And I wouldn't chase silver here. I still think that there's a possibility that we get a third drive on this, which is going to come in, I think, under 60 if that happens now. Take a look at the 4 hour again. And the other scenario is this could end up being the head and we get some type of shoulder down here at 70. Doesn't have to put in a 3 drive, but I'm still not willing to buy silver, especially if I'm right about a dollar rally. Gold can rally with a strong dollar, but silver really does need a weak dollar for it to go, much more than gold. So that covers metals. All right, so now let's look at what's happening in WTI. I believe Netanyahu is coming to Washington today. This thing looks like it's on the verge of breaking out, guys. So we're at new highs. Following the oil shares, which have been outperforming, which is bullish. That's what you want to see in gold shares, silver shares above the commodity. So this looks good. I still believe in the 78 scenario before this is complete. There's nothing wrong if we were getting long, you know, at the bottom where Steve and I did the show and then pitched it, bought pullbacks, pitched it, bought pullbacks, and then bought this pullback too uh, at 63. So I mean, if you want almost $3 from that entry, you could take it. I'm just going to sit with it now. You could trail stops, put profit stops in. I don't think you want to see 62 taken out at this point of time. You probably don't even want to see it trade back under, let's say this low. Yeah, Under 62 is fine. But that looks good to me. I just want to take a quick look at the wheat. I don't want you guys to forget the grains because we are getting closer to a potential breakout. Yeah, look at wheat. Okay. It's going to go. All right. Could it pull back one more time? Yeah, but I think we've had the pullback and doesn't it look kind of similar to oil. Looks kind of similar to oil. And like I said, and I've been tweeting about it, markets bottom in silence. All right. It's quiet. You don't hear many people talking about wheat. I'm starting to see more talk about wheat, but not many. So we're on the verge of a weekly breakout here. Mexican peso was something else I was talking about. I'm looking for a bear market rally back to about 1860 here. It didn't make a new low, which this looks pretty bullish to me. If you want to go that route, you could just be wrong under 1710. These lows, not a big risk. Looking for, way up here, 1860. Let's take a look at what's happening in risk. I think the S&P's liked the numbers, which, oh, look at Costco. I said you could shop there, but we have Drive 2 in Costco. Maybe we'll get one more. Be a nice looking short. So China, looking a little heavy to me. There's BABA. Here's FXI. I don't know. It's not bullish. People have been looking for China to outperform the U.S. I don't see it. One thing that did happen yesterday that I found pretty interesting is how they got to the banks. You had Bank of America just get back into the gap and turn, open higher, lower, and Citicorp made a new high barely and diverged pretty good. So I'd be careful with the financials here. Here's Micron. This may be kind of a last gasp up here. We're gapping higher. And if we get back through these levels, you're talking 450. I'm thinking that we could trade back down here, 270, 280. And it still really won't upset the long-term uptrend. But it's parabolic and it's about to give up. Watch this 9-day. Okay, we start closing under this 9-day. Let me just give you a foreshadowing of what happened with a market holding a 9-day and then giving it up. And that would be this little guy here. So we're following the 9-day. The 9-day kept holding it. Then once it gave it up, okay, this is a 9-week. So it was parabolic till then. So I don't like Micron. Let's see what's happening with some of the others. Tesla guys. Wow. Okay, so they have a huge rally going on in semiconductors here. It looks like they're going for new highs, held right where they had to. Not going to confirm it, new highs, but that's where it looks like it's going. The mags really look ugly. It takes a lot of money to move these things. And, with the big rally that we had last Friday, I believe, we've made very little progress here. So the Mag 7 still, I'd avoid. We break down, we get 56. And for you Tesla people, looks okay. Looks like it's coming out of here. So that's a wrap. The main thing I did, the trades were in the dollar. I'm thinking that we have some type of decent lower high in euro and higher low in Canada. And those are my trades for the day. Good hunting. Don't forget to come hang out with us here in the room. It's free. I believe the link is right there on the YouTube channel, and you can see what we're doing. If you want just to see my stuff, you just go under Coaches Market Analysis. If you want Mike's stuff uh, exclusively, you go there. And then if you want the combination of things, you just go to the general. Okay, so that's where you go for, right here, general for both. So Mike's catching some stuff working. I hope everyone has a good day trading. Come join us in our trading room at TradeGateHub and post your charts and ask questions and learn and share what you see. Don't just comment on it, post the chart so we could see the picture. And more than that, don't just count your pips, count your blessings.